We are building a trillion-dollar future right now. We are building it on the backs of a few AI companies. Beat. But what happens if those foundational pillars suddenly collapse?
The whole system shakes violently. It's a massive structural vulnerability for the global economy.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm very glad you're here with us today. Let's unpack this highly complex landscape together.
We have some truly fascinating ground to cover today. First, we're analyzing the $900 billion house of cards in AI infrastructure. Then we track the fierce platform war happening between Anthropic and OpenAI.
Right. We'll also explore the sudden shift to off-grid local AI video.
Yeah, and finally, we look at how AI is actively rewiring our jobs, our dating lives, and even our pets' healthcare.
I have to offer a vulnerable admission right up front, though. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, sure. Prompt drift is when the same prompt suddenly gives you different answers over time.
Yeah, it happens constantly. So trying to wrap my head around a $900 billion infrastructure gamble feels completely surreal.
The sheer scale of it breaks our standard economic models.
Let's start with that massive macro picture. We're looking at the foundational hardware driving this entire boom.
We're looking at severe systemic risk. A recent Reuters report highlights a very serious and growing concern. Major labs like OpenAI and Anthropic might be too big to fail.
That specific phrase carries a lot of dark historical weight. We all remember what that meant for the big banks.
It really does. Today, these few companies are the main buyers driving the global compute surge. Tech giants are spending about $650 billion this year alone.
That's just this year alone. It is a staggering amount of capital flowing into one single sector.
Exactly. And much of that massive physical expansion relies on a huge assumption. It assumes these AI labs will keep demanding massive computing power forever.
It's like stacking Lego blocks of data. Or building millions of gas stations for a very specific car, but
the car manufacturer suddenly goes bankrupt, right?
Exactly. You don't just lose the car. You have billions of dollars in useless concrete and cables.
Yeah, and they fall hard. If a major lab fails, that massive compute demand disappears instantly.
And then the financial dominoes start falling everywhere. The impact spreads outward through the entire market.
It cascades completely through the global supply chain. You lose the constant need for both AI training and inference.
And inference is running a trained model to make live predictions or decisions.
Right. Without that constant load, the explosive growth of data centers could slow sharply. Cloud providers and chip makers would suddenly struggle.
They simply wouldn't find enough new customers. And this massive risk touches completely normal financial institutions too.
We're talking about traditional cornerstone finance. Banks and private lenders have financed about $900 billion in AI infrastructure.
That is almost $1 trillion in combined debt and equity. 2-sec silence. So what exactly triggers that collapse? Do servers just power down overnight?
No, it's a sudden drop in market confidence. The financial markets would freeze long before any server actually turns off. Cloud providers would panic instantly.
So market confidence collapses long before the actual technology does.
Precisely.
Let's transition to the direct head-to-head battle here. If the global economy rests on these massive labs, which one is actually winning?
This brings us to RAMP's March 2026 AI Index. It tracks how companies actually spend their real money.
This is actual corporate credit card data. It's not just surveys or optimistic boardroom projections.
The data reveals a fascinating trend. Anthropic is pulling far ahead of the competition. They're winning 70% of head-to-head deals against OpenAI for new businesses.
That is a massive shift in market dominance.
It gets even crazier when you look at broad usage. Nearly 1 in 4 businesses on RAMP now pays for Anthropic. Just a year ago, it was only 1 in 25.
That's truly explosive growth. Meanwhile, what is the actual corporate data showing for OpenAI?
OpenAI's adoption rate actually fell 1.5% in March. That represents their biggest single-month drop so far.
I have to push back on this logically. Why on earth would businesses flock to a platform that actively throttles their usage over a cheaper, widely available one?
It's deeply counterintuitive at first glance. The core developer products are actually very close in performance. Claude Code and OpenAI Codex are broadly comparable coding tools.
Codex might even be cheaper with higher limits. You'd literally get more output for less money.
Right. And Anthropic has a very strange operational constraint right now. They cannot fully meet their current enterprise demand. Many plans still have strict rate limits attached.
In almost every software market in history, the cheaper product usually wins. You
Yep.
normally just choose the frictionless available option.
But here, that normal economic pattern is breaking entirely. Choosing an AI is becoming a powerful cultural identity marker.
Like the green bubble versus blue bubble divide in iMessage. It signals exactly who you are to the world,
Exactly. Anthropic uses constitutional AI to guide its models.
which means an AI trained to follow a strict set of built-in rules.
Right, that specific approach gives enterprise boards a deep sense of safety. They want predictable behavior over raw processing power.
It signals a responsible corporate identity to their shareholders. But if it's just about brand safety, what does this say about tech loyalty right now?
It tells us that businesses are choosing based on brand alignment. They are picking a philosophical side in the AI race, not just optimizing for raw volume.
It's not just utility anymore, it's a corporate identity. So to escape those bottlenecks, rate limits, and systemic risks, the industry is pushing back.
We're seeing a huge shift toward decentralization. Developers are pushing high-end AI directly to personal hardware.
This is where the launch of LTX Studio 2.3 comes in.
Until now, the most powerful video tools lived entirely in the cloud. Sora, Runway, Kling AI, and Seedance all require remote servers.
You essentially rented time on their massive corporate computers. You paid a constant subscription tax.
But LTX 2.3 runs directly on your personal hardware. It processes everything locally using your own machine.
And the technical specs are absolutely incredible here.
They really are pushing the boundaries. It generates video up to true 4K resolution. It runs at a buttery smooth 50 frames per second.
You can generate complex clips up to 20 seconds long. That is serious runtime for heavy generative video.
Yeah, and it includes full audio generation baked right in. Plus, it outputs native vertical video automatically.
So that's 1080 by 1920 pixels, perfectly formatted for TikTok or Reels. Beat. Whoa! Imagine generating Hollywood-grade 4K video entirely off the grid.
It changes the entire game for independent creators. Look at their previous open source model, LTX2. It hit 4 million downloads in just 6 weeks.
That is staggering. The pent-up demand for local processing is clearly there. What does this mean for actual creative freedom?
It means no subscription paywalls block your workflow. There are no external corporate content filters dictating your art. Your rough drafts remain completely private on your own hard drive.
So we bypass the cloud tax and own our creations locally.
Exactly.
Whether running on massive cloud data centers or local laptops, this technology is already fundamentally rewiring human life. It's changing labor and love.
And it's changing medicine. Look at the dating scene, for example. A Bumble recently launched their new Bee Assistant. It writes your profile and actually plans your physical dates.
And Tinder just unveiled AI speed dating. It is a very strange concept to process emotionally.
Soon, 2 AI agents might date each other first. They'll verify compatibility before the actual human beings ever meet.
If our AI twins are going on dates with each other and applying for jobs with other AI recruiters, what is the human actually supposed to be doing?
That's the defining philosophical question right now. Automation removes the friction, but humans shift to being the visionaries. We must still provide the intent.
We stop doing the busy work and start directing the actual vision. And humans are still using AI for deeply personal things.
Medicine is a perfect example. A tech founder's dog was diagnosed with severe cancer. Standard chemotherapy had completely failed to stop it.
So he turned to the advanced tools he understood. He used ChatGPT and AlphaFold.
And AlphaFold is an AI predicting the complex 3D structure of microscopic proteins.
He used those tools to design an experimental cancer vaccine. He custom-built it specifically for his own dog.
And it actually worked in real life. One of the aggressive tumors shrank after the treatment.
That is incredible. The power of a massive research lab moved into the hands of one individual.
But while individuals are empowered, the massive corporate scale continues expanding too. Elon Musk just teased Tesla's Terafab AI chip factory launch on March 21st.
That's a $20 billion project to control their own massive AI stack.
Axiom also just raised $200 million at a $1.6 billion valuation. Their mission is to build AI that formally proves math.
Meaning mathematically proving that a computer algorithm is completely correct.
Right. We're also seeing an explosion of daily rapid tools. 11 Creative lets you generate and edit premium audio, video, and images all in one place.
Then you have the Google Workspace CLI. It gives you over 100 dedicated agents for Drive and Gmail.
The Banana app is another fascinating breakthrough. It offers real-time voice translation in over 80 different languages.
And it preserves your own voice without needing subtitles.
Yeah, and Motion is a new tool that upgrades screen capture. It records in high res, smooths out your frantic mouse movements, and adds cinematic zoom.
These tools are making everyone a one-person production studio. But let's look at the actual workplace. The site jobloss.ai tracks corporate layoffs directly blamed on AI.
It logs companies replacing human workers with automated systems. 75% of resumes never reach a human eye anymore.
And then there's the Amazon workload paradox. An independent study confirmed that introducing automation actually increases daily human workloads. Why does automation actually increase our daily workload instead of reducing it?
Because capitalism hates a vacuum. The moment a complex task gets faster, your baseline expectation simply shifts upward. You don't gain free time, you just process a much higher volume of work.
Automation just creates an entirely new category of busy work.
We're navigating a truly bizarre historical paradox right now. On one hand, we are building a $900 billion house of cards.
The entire system relies heavily on a few tech giants battling for blue bubble status.
Right. Yet simultaneously, this exact same underlying technology is becoming intensely personal. It's capable of running locally on our laptops to render 4K video off the grid.
It's seamlessly translating our actual voices in 80 different languages.
It's scheduling our romantic dates for us. And it's even stepping in to save our pets when traditional medicine completely fails.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. If AI platforms are becoming identity markers like smartphone ecosystems, how will your choice of AI today define your personal or professional brand in 5 years?